collaborating on how you will continue to bounce back up. Because these circumstances that we find ourselves in are too big for any one of us to do this by ourselves. It's part of why this community exists. It's part of why y'all are in this thing together. It's part of why Made for More exists. It's part of why your small groups exist. We have to, as social beings, connect our experience. What happens when you connect your experience? Two things happen for me, right? When I, number one, am able to connect to the experience that I am having with other people, it makes me feel less alone. I feel normal. And your struggle, the challenge, the way that you feel on hard days, it's normal. And the sooner you can see that it's normal, the less shame, the less guilt, the less worry you have of you being broken or different. You realize we're all struggling through this, and that struggle is a reflection of your humanity, not of any weakness whatsoever. But two, when you are able to raise your hand and connect with other people who share some of your experience and how they're making it through the woods themselves, they may have a hack. They may have found some tips on how to make it through the woods that now you can apply to your journey in the woods, right? You are looking to hopefully get some support, some context, some tips and tricks, some hints on things that other people who are maybe just a little further along their journey of this wood can apply to your journey. So you've got to be in community. You have got to be in community. Don't be afraid to say, man, I don't want to admit that I'm struggling because that struggle is going to make me feel weak. You are guaranteeing that you will feel more alone, and you are guaranteeing that you will not find the help that you could get if you were willing to be a little more vulnerable in how you represent the struggle that you have, because all of us, me, Ray, all of us, we all struggle. So find a way to connect to somebody else so that they can normalize your struggle and give you some tips on how to get through it. All right? And then the last thing is health, right? Man, we talk about health all the time. I love when I read something from someone else that reinforces a thing that I believe in so much. But when it comes to these 6 components of resilience, vision, composure, reasoning, tenacity, collaboration, the last one was health, right? And health, it's not just physical health. Of course, we talk all the time about physical health, but we talk about mental health, right? How you think, emotional health, how you feel, spiritual health, what you believe, physical health, how strong you feel, how moving your body to make you feel a certain way is important, right? But at its foundation, your ability to get back up is connected to your health. Right? If you are in any way neglecting your health, the idea that you can be resilient is compromised. And I'm not saying you got to get out and do your push-ups. No. I'm saying every dimension of health. If you aren't processing how you're thinking or sharing how you're feeling or connecting to what you believe, the ability for you to get back up on the days when it's hard, to get back up fast, to get back up and become tougher is compromised. And so you're going to have to decide, are you interested in building a foundation of health in a way that affords you the chance to get back up? That affords you a chance to get back up. And if you can, fantastic. You are going to get back up faster. And if you decide, you know what, I'm not sure this is the season that I should commit to being really okay with my mental health journey. Okay, that's a choice you can make. But the possibility of you getting back up faster, having the tenacity that you need, being able to do every other part of, everything that we just talked about, it's compromised. So anyway, resilience, y'all. We are a community trying to be resilient. If you joined late, I was mentioning, I read this article from the CEO of a company called Driven. His name's Yuri Rusow. And I just did a very stone skip review of this article, because I just I connected so much to it. But I also think, as we're thinking about a week for next 90 days where we talk about resilience, is there the possibility of embracing resilience in parts? Because sometimes when I am faced with choosing to be resilient, it feels overwhelming. What's resilience, right? The capacity to recover quickly from difficulties. to become tougher, right? The ability to spring back into shape, elasticity, right? Like that is what resilience is. And sometimes when I think about being resilient, I'll just choose to be resilient. Like, you know what? Go fly a kite. I don't feel like being resilient today. So if you don't feel like being resilient on certain days, and guess what? In this environment, you're not going to feel like being resilient all the time. Could you compartmentalize the parts of resilience in a way that engineer resilience on the days you don't feel like it? I would argue that you can. And so this is a way to maybe take into pieces some of the things that make up resilience. Felt like a good way to start our Monday. Y'all, did everyone have a good weekend? I hope everyone had a good weekend. We're going into week 1,000 of this quarantine. Welcome. The upside down is upon us, but we're going to get through it because we are in community. We are building a plan. We are thinking about who we have to be. We are focused on our health. We're doing the dang work to make sure that we can get back up and be elastic regardless of whatever ends up being thrown our way during this week. Can I get an amen? Amen from the back of the congregation. All right, we've got a whole week's worth of great stuff coming around resilience this week. If you have not yet, I encourage you. Rachel recorded a whole teaching on resilience. It sits inside of your learning portal. If you have not yet signed up for Next 90 Days, come on down. It's completely free, and for these 14 weeks of time, we're doing it together. So let's hang out. I hope everybody has a fantastic, fantastic day. Chris, happy 40th birthday. I see that. Happy 40th birthday. Rachel, I don't know if Rachel's going to be back this week. I'll be honest. I'm going to try and be as supportive as I can be in affording her this time to write on this darn book. So if you get stuck with me for this week, well, I'll just try and bring my very best, try and fire you up. And then that way you can miss her. And then when she comes back next Monday, if that ends up being the case, we can celebrate. We can celebrate the fact that she's back. I hope everyone has a fantastic Monday. Thank you for hanging out during a little yell talking session. I will see you all tomorrow. Have a great day.